how are you going to use that water? How are you going to get it back up into the street and use it for the households or whatever we want to use it for?
Very good question, Geoff. Okay, so the principle is, let's take a new estate as the example, and then we'll go back to the retrofit because you just mentioned retro. New estate, roads are going to be built, there's car parks, there's all sorts. Our principle is the stormwater is flowing underground in a pipe. We install one of our devices, cleans all the water up. We then build an underground storage tank effectively. That storage tank is manufactured again from green concrete. That could be 500,000 litres, 1 million litres or more, depending on the size and nature of the area. We also include in that a disinfection process, which makes sure that any pathogens that may have got picked up from the street are also processed. That can be solar powered. That water is then either made available by pressure pump through the normal process, irrigation lines, or the alternate way to do it is to use solar energy again during daylight hours when energy is basically there for free in Australia. We pump it up to header tanks and that becomes available for irrigation. Second, pipe work into houses, flushes toilets, washes clothes, all of those other things, because we only use around 20 to 40 litres per day per household in the kitchen for drinking, preparing food and so on. Make that corporation water. The rest of the water, we can supply that. So as I say, 200 to 400 litres per household per day through that infrastructure. Retrofitted, similar process, a little bit of extra design work required to work out how it fits into the system, but it's a similar arrangement again. Bring the pipe work together, clean the water up, store it, keep it underground where it's nice and cool, it's not going to evaporate, and then allow it to infiltrate back into the soil through irrigation and these other reuse processes.
And I would also imagine that in places where we're trying to get green corridors and we're trying to, put vegetation in to try and help cooling of our cities down and things, having this clean water available under our streets could also, be the lifeline for these green corridors.
Look, absolutely. And of course, we talk about the heat island effect. It's a no-brainer. We have to do it. But imagine roadways that are green on each side. We're also minimising the amount of carbon dioxide that's discharged because green environment not only cools, but we're soaking up the CO2 and converting it into oxygen. We're making a roadway a corridor for clean air to flow rather than having stale air that's hot and awful. We all know when we're walking down, we're taking the dog for a walk. Where are you going to go for a walk? You're not going to, if you've got a nice green patch with trees, you're going to go for a walk there naturally. Human nature tells us that that's where we want to be, not in an open plain that's just covered in concrete. It's hot and bothered, and we just don't feel right as human beings. It just brings us back to nature, and it's sustainable.